Hello, everyone, and welcome to Respect the Pick.
Respect the Pick is back.
Wanted to hop on real quick. Sans Jaden.
Nope, he doesn't like baseball. So.
Because we're going to talk baseball. We had a couple huge things go down in the past couple weeks, and we wanted to talk about it.
First I want to talk about Shohei Ohtani. Okay?
Well, that's one of the big things.
Yeah,
so why wouldn't we talk about it? Just signed a huge deal with the Dodgers.
So he's going to make $70 million this coming season.
$70 million.
I mean, they say it's deferred. Well, I don't know what that means. Is it going to be like Bobby Bonilla getting $1 million a year for 40 years or whatever?
I don't know.
Okay. I get that he's a good baseball player. I get that he's a good pitcher and he's a good hitter. But the way these guys talk about him is they act like he's the best hitter and the best pitcher. First of all, he's not even going to be pitching in 2024.
Right.
Because he's had Tommy John surgery for the second time. The dude's like 30 years old.
Was it Tommy John?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Okay.
The second time.
Wow.
And he's 30 years old. Who knows when he's going to pitch again? The dude's, guess what his innings pitched averages about a season? 60.
60?
Between 60 and 70. That's how many innings pitched per season he's had since his career began.
That's more innings than Aaron Judge threw.
Okay, but Aaron Judge, how many innings did he play in right field?
A lot. Well, he's been hurt a lot.
Or center field. No, I understand that, but...
All right, then go Juan Soto. Juan Soto, he's a iron horse, right?
He's not a good
outfielder,
but he's not a good outfielder.
Okay,
he's not a good outfielder. But
so there you go. There's something to say for Shohei right there. No one else has done this since Babe Ruth.
Who cares? Who cares? No one else has ever had a show named to Respect the Pick. That doesn't make us the greatest show writers of,
It's true.
Creators of all time. But listen, and Babe Ruth was a better hitter than Shohei is, and he was a better pitcher than Shohei is. Listen. They're giving him all this money, and I heard them talking about, I don't remember who it was. They're saying they're going to pay him $30 million a year, $35 million a year to hit, and $35 million a year to pitch. And Aaron Judge makes that much money to hit, and Garrett Cole makes almost, that much money to pitch. First of all, Shohei Ohtani is not as good of a pitcher as Garrett Cole. Okay? I'm sorry. He's good. He does a good job. He's not as good as Garrett Cole.
He throws lefty, right, Shohei?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't really. It doesn't matter.
He
might throw righty.
He might throw righty. Because he hits lefty.
And he's not as good a hitter as Aaron Judge.
No.
So now he's making $35 million to hit. This year coming up, he's making $70 million to bat 4 times. Mm-hmm. He can't play the outfield because he can't throw.
Right.
So he's batting 4 times. He's making $70 million. Aaron Judge is a better hitter. He's going to play the outfield. Aaron Judge is a great outfielder, and he makes way less than Ohtani.
But here's another thing. Ohtani's going to put a lot of butts in the seats.
The Dodgers sell out every game anyways. The Dodgers already have $3 million a year.
They're going to sell a lot of jerseys, and he's going to help them win rings.
Is he going to help them win rings? How many rings did the Angels win?
Well, the Angels were bums. They didn't have any other pitching whatsoever.
Did you know that they didn't even they never even got over 500 with Shohei Ohtani?
No, I didn't.
And guess what? Shohei Ohtani wasn't even the best hitter on his own team.
Right, Mike Trout was.
So listen. He's making all that money, and he's going there, and he's going to hit. He's not going to pitch. And Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman are better hitters than him. They're acting like Shohei Ohtani is the greatest hitter that's ever walked on this planet. Well, and he's under 280 for his career. He averages 40 home runs a year. Okay, fine. But I can tell you 5 players right now easily who are better all-around hitters than Shohei Ohtani, and 2 of them are on the Dodgers, and 2 of them are on the Yankees.
Now,
and the other one used to be a teammate with him. There's 5 guys right there better than Shohei. Freeman, Betts, Trout, Judge, Soto. Right there's 5 guys better than Shohei Ohtani. And I can name more.
Now, wasn't he on pace to challenge Judge's record?
He slowed down.
But he was on pace at one point. Was it because he got hurt, or was it because he just kind of got
Whatever
cold?
It is, he didn't do it.
Right, it's true.
So, Aaron Judge had a better pace. If you want to talk about pace, Aaron Judge had a better pace last year than he did in 22.
Oh, wow. He just spent all that time hurt.
Aaron Judge's OPS was off the charts last year.
And I know there was a time Tino Martinez in 1997 was on pace to, challenge Bonds and Sosa and all those guys, right?
Well, if you hit 2 home runs in the first game of the season, you're on pace. If you hit 1 home run in the
I'm talking about near the All-Star break because he won the home run derby in 1987 in Cleveland.
But listen, I'm not saying they say, I saw somebody say, Shohei's a great base runner. He's not a great base runner. He since his first whole career, his stolen base success rate has been like 75%, and they say you got to be about 85 to be a good base stealer. Mm-hmm. Since COVID, since that season, he's under 70%. The guy stole 21 bases and got caught 10 times one season. He's not a great base runner. He steals bases once in a while, but he runs when he shouldn't run. He gets thrown out. You can't get thrown out 10 times and only steal 20 bases. Yeah. That's not a good enough percentage.
Oh, I agree.
You're hurting your team that way.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bitter probably because he's not on the Yankees and he's taken away from Judge.
Do the Yankees really want another contract like that, especially if they want to re-sign Soto after this 1 year?
$70 million a year for that guy? We don't even know if he's ever going to pitch again.
They still got to pay Stanton. They still have to pay Judge, and they still have to play.
And how do we know if Shohei can play in the big game? He's never played in the big game. He's never played in the game that matters.
If you count the
Except for the World Baseball Classic when he pitched against Trout and
people really take that seriously. You can
especially
tell
in Japan.
You can tell that the people really, take pride in that tournament. I love the World Baseball Classic. I think it's a lot of fun, especially when you've had baseball blue balls all winter, and then to have a little bit more of a competitive league or tournament pop up right before the season starts. It helps.
Well, let me. Yeah, you're right. Let me preface. We're gonna possibly do another overrated episode, and
over and underrated episode.
I think it was overrated was our better one, right?
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani is overrated.
Ooh, that's a big statement.
He's overrated, dude. Shohei Ohtani is overrated, and LeBron James is overrated because he's bow-legged.
I don't know if LeBron's overrated, but I don't think he's as good as Kobe or Michael.
Listen, there's rumors that he's a gummy guy there.
Really, LeBron?
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it. People like to avoid it, but dude, he's 40 years old and he's playing the way he's playing. That doesn't happen.
No, you're right.
People are like, oh, he's just a monster. Okay, fine. A lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire, people. I shouldn't put that out there. Maybe you want to cut that, but cut from when we said LeBron. But anyways, Yankees getting Soto, that's a big move. If they can keep him, right. Yankees have, you could argue, they have the best right-handed hitter and the best left-handed hitter in baseball. I'm not saying that it's 100% that's the case,
right?
But you could argue it.
Yeah.
You can argue it. Because people don't realize that Aaron Judge, I said something like that on social media, and they're like, oh, Aaron Judge, only if you want to strike out. He's cut down his strikeouts a lot. Mm-hmm. His on-base percentage is ridiculous. His OPS is ridiculous. He in 2022, he had one of the best seasons ever. One of the best seasons any baseball player has ever
he hit over 300, did he not?
Besides the years that Barry Bonds was roiding like a monster, it was one of the best seasons ever. I mean, Barry Bonds, those years, forget about it. They shouldn't even count. They should just wipe him off the record. The guy walked 200 times.
Right.
I mean,
Buck Showalter walked him with the bases loaded once, right?
Yeah.
Walked in a run because they didn't want to risk him
because he's roiding. Look at. He was Steve Stewart. Before Steve Stewart.
Here's my thing about roiding. Okay, Randy Velarde also roided. He didn't hit 70 home runs.
That doesn't matter. That's a cop-out argument because we're not talking about the difference between Randy Velarde and Barry Bonds. We're talking about the difference between Barry Bonds without roids and Barry Bonds with roids, right? Okay. And that's the difference between 30 home runs a year and 70 home runs a year. It's not the difference between Randy Velarde and Barry Bonds. If I roided, I wouldn't hit that many home runs either. That's not a good argument.
Okay.
If you take guys who can put the bat on the ball, right, which Major League Baseball players can basically do, right, the ones who are really good at it,
okay,
and then you give them steroids, that's what you got. Okay. It's not about making a bad hitter good. I mean, you can care about that a little bit, but with the Barry Bonds situation, it's about making a good hitter historic.
That's fair. Yeah.
It's not a good argument.
But here's the other thing I always said about steroids. And people talk about how like Pete Rose was banned from baseball, but Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire and those guys weren't. Gambling almost destroyed baseball. There was a huge attendance problem and a huge
I agree with that.
Public image problem with gambling.
Pete Rose might not
Sox.
have been cheating, but he was destroying the integrity of the game.
Right. And then so that was a big problem, back after.
Right.
And then Babe Ruth came along and, brought the interest back.
It doesn't seem like as much of a big deal, but to baseball, the institution, to baseball, the industry of baseball, it's the number one violation.
Right.
Destroying the integrity. You don't know if the win loss or the wins or losses matter. I mean, with Pete Rose, it turns into professional wrestling.
Right. That's a good point. Because he's betting against his own team, right?
Right. Well, they say he never bet against his team. He only bet. But Jim Rome had a great point. Every time he doesn't bet on his team is the same as betting against his team. Right?
That's true.
Every time he bet on the Reds, unless he bet on the Reds every single game, then that's a bad argument because every time he doesn't bet on the Reds,
right? He knows something's up where he's not confident in his team
morally.
Plus, the guy's just a fucking prick. Morally, he seems like such an asshole.
Morally, he might not be. It might not seem as bad. It might not seem like cheating like those steroid guys do. It's not necessarily cheating, but that's not what it's about. It's about how much can it destroy the game. The steroids can destroy the records.
Right.
But
it made it fun to watch. That's what brought fans back after the strike was Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa hitting 65, 70 home runs.
Cal Ripken, too.
Well, yeah. Ripken. Right. But
breaking the record and then
that's a huge thing that put butts back in the seats and put people watching TV and
baseball
games.
Yeah,
games on the TV.
I watched both the Major League Baseball Network and listened to the Major League Baseball channel on Sirius Network. They're really just they're talking about. They're pumping this guy up. It's like the MLB executive said, "Hey, we got to make this a big deal. We got to make Shohei Ohtani, Pat Mahomes and LeBron James."
Well, baseball's third. Right? And the big three,
yeah,
it's third.
It really is.
They're trying to find things to get excited about, and he's something to get excited about.
But he's not. He doesn't have a personality. He doesn't like to talk to the media.
He has a little bit more of a personality than a lot of players, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. But he's making too much.
I agree with that. I mean, any pro athlete makes... I mean, I guess... It's an investment. People say, "Oh, that's not important as what he does." Doctors and nurses save lives, and they should make more money. And I agree with that. But at the same time, it's an investment.
It's not
They can make money off a player, so you have to spend money to make money. That's a way to make money.
The amount of money you make in your job is not about how hard your job is or how important it is. It's about how hard it is to replace you. And you can't find somebody else who does what Shohei does.
Right.
It takes two of them.
Yeah.
I'd rather have two. I'd rather have Judge and Cole. If somebody said the Yankees can trade Judge and Cole for Shohei, will you do it? No.
Absolutely not.
Because Cole's a better pitcher, Judge is a better hitter, and if one of them goes down, I still have the other one.
Right. Shohei could do something pitching that would hurt him to the point where it kept him from hitting.
Yeah, he can't pitch and hit at the same time.
It's not something that can last.
He can't pitch and hit at the same time. That's
if anybody thinks for that whole span of his career, that how many years did he sign?
10.
If anybody thinks in 5 years that he's still going to be pitching and hitting, you're delusional.
Well, he's already not going to be pitching in 2024. So Shohei Ohtani is a waste of money. Juan Soto is not.
Well, Juan Soto is only 1 year.
Yankees aren't paying him anything.
He doesn't have a huge big contract yet.
Whatever San Diego was paying him, but he's a better hitter than Shohei. Sorry, he is. Look at the numbers. Just look at the back of their baseball cards. Soto is a better hitter than Ohtani, and he's younger, and he plays every day.
And Juan Soto, does he not have something that goes on this finger already?
Yeah.
I don't think Shohei does.
Yep. Yeah, neither does Judge.
No. So. Well, lot of people say.
Judge's batting average in the postseason is not good, but he usually hits a few bombs.
Yeah.
Like usually the first postseason of the season, a lot of times his first at bat in the postseason he's hit.
That's another point I wanted to make about Judge is when you're talking about hitting 62 home runs. How many other people are hitting 62 home runs and batting over 300? Again, you go back to Babe Ruth, right?
Right.
Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire weren't hitting 300. Bonds might have been.
McGuire hit over 300.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy hell!
I think
guess
Sosa
that.
did too. Well, they were on steroids though.
I go back and watch some of those videos, man. He looked like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know it.
He's out to Big Macland. They're both out of here. Come on.
And Sammy Sosa. Not only did he have steroids, but he corked his bat too.
Yeah.
Get outta
It was
here,
so awkward watching him like pour water on his face after he got busted.
Yeah.
What are you corking your bat for? Come on. But that's something. That's why Major League Baseball let that go so far because it put butts in the seats.
Well, plus
it
it was
helped them
just
with their bottom line.
They didn't know what else to do because everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
All their like star players were doing it. What are they going to do? And that's why Fred McGriff needed to get into the Hall of Fame because nobody ever said he was doing it.
Yeah.
He never had a sniff about steroids.
Yeah, he was a rail. He was skinny.
There was
right?
never even a
Always.
whisper about him doing steroids, and the guy hit 497 home runs. Really, if he hit 3 more, he would have been a lock.
And he has at least one ring, right?
Yep, with Atlanta, he was
with Atlanta.
unbelievable in
95?
that series. Yeah,
He didn't win any with the Blue Jays?
no, he was gone by then. It was Joe.
Was it
Carter.
Olerud?
That was Joe Carter.
First
Remember
base, though, was it Olerud?
Yeah, I believe it was Olerud and Molitor. But yeah, they traded McGriff for Carter and Alomar. They traded McGriff and Tony Fernandez for Joe Carter and Roberto Alomar.
Yeah. His Hall of Fame was way overdue. Way overdue.
Yeah, I'm glad. Well, this is fun. We can talk more baseball later on, but
I want to have an episode where we talk about, because now the season's over and
the new
we're
rules.
smack
How'd
dab.
they go?
Smack dab in the middle of free agency and stuff like that. I would love to talk about the new rules.
Coming up, though, we got, for those of you who don't, probably a lot of you, Dick Van Dyke Show, we're going to do the rankings. We're going to rate all 177 episodes. No, 157 episodes, 1 through 158. It's not going to be for everybody.
No.
We know it's not going to be for everybody, but it's kind of a test of.
Who don't love the Dick Van Dyke Show?
Listen, you should watch it, guys. It's everywhere. It's on all the
Are we going to do that one live? Or are we going to?
No,
No, it's a recording.
we're not going to do all of them at once.
Okay.
We're going to do top 11s. Well, the first one will be like whatever we need it to be, so the last one will be 11, right? So it's going to be 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, but the first one is going to be like 9 or 8 or whatever.
Okay.
Because you want the last one to be the top 11.
Right. Now, this is a tease for another show that we're going to do this format in, right?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah. That's going to be big because I think there's a lot of people right now who, it's got a huge cult following, that show.
Crazy.
It's so fun.
So this is kind of a practice almost.
Right, for the ranking system.
If we put it on Dick Van Dyke Show fan page, I think people are going to get a kick out of it a little bit. And, hey, it'd be fun if maybe Dick Van Dyke, I was wondering if we rank every 100 and whatever episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, those guys might be interested to see what we thought. You know what I mean?
They might. I wonder how many times those guys Google themselves.
And we can talk about the episodes and they can hear what our opinions were. And then if these other guys can get on, those guys are the kind of guys who do that. Like Rob, I can be like, hey, dude, yeah, come on. We're going to talk about the show. Come on our show.
I'm sure he's got plenty of time to pop on.
Come on. He loves his fans.
I mean, he only owns a soccer club.
He loves his
football
fans.
club.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
He loves his fans.
Sorry, not to disrespect soccer.
Tweet the shit out of him and keep telling him about it.
All right. Do it up.
Be like, hey, bud, you remember me? We
That's
shook
right.
hands.
You guys hung out, didn't you, for a little while?
We hung out for about
2 minutes.
30 seconds, maybe. And then if that goes well, we can do it for Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, yeah, that would be fun. I'm ashamed to say that I've only started watching Seinfeld in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
So I've only seen the whole thing through twice.
Yeah. But you could remember them good enough. And Seinfeld has a lot of good ones. I think I just want to get people to talk about it and argue with us, and that'll be fun. So.
And Seinfeld is one of those rare shows that like every year it kept getting better.
Even if it didn't, you could make an argument that it kept getting better, but even if it didn't get better, it didn't get bad.
Right.
It never got bad.
Right. Like most TV shows, they peak at like season 3 and 4. And popularity and quality, and then they just downfall real quick.
I think two.
That
two and
did
three.
not happen with Seinfeld. That did not happen with the Dick Van Dyke Show. That did not happen with Larry either.
It did happen with Sonny though.
Curb Your Enthusiasm is better each year.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. We could do that on that.
Oh my God, I love that show. Like I watch it. This is the third time through now watching Curb. Loved it way more.
The first time you watched it, you weren't into it as much as I was.
It took a long time. Like to me, it really gets going in season 4 when he's doing the producers.
I think it's good in all
Fucking love that.
I think season 1's good. The second episode with Ted and Mary Steenburgen is very funny too.
Their whole relationship with Ted Danson and that show's so amazing.
And when you got Marty Funkhauser on there, he's so funny. And Marty Funkhauser,
Super Dave, right?
Yeah.
He used to be Super Dave.
I love.
He did those crazy stunts. He was on Letterman all the time, right? I remember him being on Letterman, getting trampled and thrown around and smashed into, and because he did all those crazy stunts. And he was the surrogate on Arrested Development too. Some of the most brilliant stuff was involved with him being the surrogate for for the dad, George Bluth.
Yeah,
so funny. Did you just say that? You're fired. Wait, I'm fired? Yeah, you're fired. What the hell? So funny.
Yeah,
Arrested Development is another underrated show. It's got a huge cult following, but
I think the most underrated show of all time is Parks and Rec. It doesn't get enough. It doesn't get enough juice for being a top.
Well,
it's so good.
It had a really high ceiling. Have you even seen the whole thing through yet?
He always asks me that. I have.
It's got a huge ceiling. Seasons 3, 4, and 5, amazing.
So good.
1 and 2, I mean, I just can't stand that Mark Brandanowitz.
Yeah.
And
it gets better with Chris.
Yeah, once Chris and
Ben's okay. Ben's grown on me.
Yeah,
but
and another underrated show I think is by the same creator, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It took me years to get people to watch that show.
Here's the thing about Brooklyn Nine-Nine to me is I don't have any episodes that really stand out to me that I'm like, oh, that's the best episode. Like there's bits that I remember that are funny, like doing the impression of Holt eating a marshmallow. That's that's really good. It's really good.
That show. That's another show that I don't think ever fell off. It stayed good the whole time.
I disagree.
From episode 1 to however many it went to.
I believe it falls off.
Solid.
I believe it falls off quite a bit when Chelsea Peretti leaves.
Yeah, she was a big character and she was missed, but
she was still hilarious.
I think it's highly.
I think they blew the joke too fast on Holt. Like, he's that super serious character, and then they blow it too fast on him being goofy all the time. Like you gotta let it go a little bit longer because pretty soon he's goofy. Because he's goofy all the time. He's not that character anymore. You can't say he's super serious anymore if he's goofy all the time.
I don't remember being all that goof. Every once in a while you had a bunch of goof, but I don't know. But the heists were great, and Jake is hilarious. Charles is hilarious.
Come on, sometimes Jake is too much. Like when he's playing the guitar to try to annoy the guys and stuff like that. And he's
like the guy he had from This Is Us or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just sometimes this stuff is stupid, but
I know. And here's the other thing. There's not a lot of shock value. It's not like inappropriate topics and like perverted jokes or violent jokes. It was very, to use Jim Carrey's word from Liar Liar, magoo.
Yeah,
it was very
for sure
straight. Straight as an arrow.
Well, Parks and Rec is a lot like that too. And Dick Van Dyke are like that too.
True.
All right. Well, this was a Shohei Ohtani episode gone way out of
from Shohei Ohtani to Jake Peralta,
and we started talking about it.
25 minutes.
Stuff that Jaden would have had some takes on. So
yeah, sorry, Jaden. All right, thanks for watching. Respect the pick.